Hello! How do you do today? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Adam's silently waving, but this is a podcast, so I'm not sure.
Well,
why
and
he's
YouTube
silently-
videos. Konnichiwa. Como estas?
Oh, Konnichiwa, that reminds me of, that song. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know what I'm talking about? Da-da, Konnichiwa.
Moving my way.
Yes!
Hey, little chica from Guadalupe.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, it's
How did you get it?
I love that song.
Oh my
It's very
gosh.
catchy.
Yeah, that's so good.
I know what you're talking about. I've
right.
heard things.
Like a chica from... da-da-da-da-da. You know.
Anyway. We gotta clean up our topic conversation.
That's right.
Because
By
today-
talking about
cleaning!
limpiando.
What?
That's cleaning in Spanish.
I see.
Yeah. So today we're gonna teach you how to clean a house.
We're gonna talk all about the cleaning. This is key.
Oh. Clean.
Yes.
Yes. So, Adam,
Gabrielle.
what are the 4 most important things about cleaning?
The 4 most important things. The only thing this reminds me of is when Kelly Kapoor in The Office calls a professor at law school or at business school. Could you tell us the 10 secrets of business? Yes,
That's
there are 4
awesome.
different things you need to know about cleaning. I'm making these up on the
I know.
fly. First is multiple layers of what you need to do.
Okay.
So it's not just sweeping, then it's dusting, then it's polishing.
Nice.
Multiple layers.
Wow, good
That's
job.
number 1.
Good job.
Number 2.
He's talking in a very measured tone, so it will give him time to think about my question.
No, I don't need time. 2 is proper cleaning accouchement.
Okay.
Say that with me now, like we're in teenagers. Accouchement.
Accouchement.
Thank you, darling.
You're
So yet
welcome.
again, Windex is not good for granite countertops. It should be avoided
What about
at all costs.
Lysol for
No.
floors?
No. I've learned that. Well, no, not Lysol or the pine scrub. Is that
Pine salt?
pine salt or what?
Pine salt.
No. Whatever it is, it was that slippery stuff.
Yeah.
That I did that on a floor a few years ago. Gabby did it on
Yes.
ours. It is very dangerous.
Oh my gosh, it's so slippery. It leaves. It's really for like wooden furniture.
Furniture,
Beautiful
tables,
for polishing, but when you have like laminate or wooden floor,
Very dangerous.
Dangerous.
Yeah. That will take you down.
That is so
real quick.
legit.
That is like how you kill children. So, but also like yet again,
Grown men.
make sure for your metal counter or your inner sink, you have the proper scrubbing equipment. Make sure
Good
for the
point.
granite countertops, a dedicated cleaner. Soap and water work, but they don't get into the cleaning. And then sometimes you need a repeat. Just because you've done it doesn't mean it's actually done.
Is that number 3 point?
No, that's number 2.
Okay.
That's still with it. There's a lot of wisdom here.
Okay,
There's
good.
a lot
Yes,
of wisdom
yes,
here.
Yes.
Third, people say don't use toxic chemicals. People are wrong. That it is okay to have a small infection in order to get rid of what
Wow,
needs to be cleaned,
God.
particularly in the bathroom. Yet
Oh, man.
again, you don't want gentle chemicals around your feces.
Okay.
You want that burning clean. If I could dump gasoline down our toilet to make sure that it was pure,
I'm so
I would.
thankful that is not the case.
Yes. So that's where, yet again, don't be afraid of using some poisonous materials. I'm not saying you have to stay there long and inhale. I'm also not telling you to make a
Wow.
dangerous concoction.
We might need to revisit this at some point.
But
We
I'm
might
just
have
saying,
little babies.
don't be worried about sensitive items because sometimes they don't really clean just as good as a more brutal portion with
Okay,
it.
okay.
Can I get an amen and a
Okay.
hallelujah here?
Okay.
And then the fourth and final thing to be remembered with in cleaning.
I'll read
Obviously,
that.
we talked about the layers of cleaning at the beginning. Then we talked about the improper accouchement needed for cleaning.
Then we talked about toxicity.
Toxicity. Don't be afraid of it.
Level
Don't-
high.
the more Clorox. Do not be afraid to use the more
Wait,
powerful
is
version.
that number 4?
No, that was
I
going
was
back to
going to say,
toxicity.
where's number 4 is more toxic.
Yes, number
Okay.
4 is
Okay, so number 3, again, toxic. Clorox, got it.
do not be afraid.
Cool. Mhm.
That. And number 4, do not be afraid to throw away.
Oh,
When in doubt,
man.
throw it out.
Oh, man.
And this is
man.
important. And among anything that you own, if you don't think you need it, or even if you're wondering should you keep it, it belongs in the trash or the donation bin already.
Ooh, ouch.
That-
Ouchies.
Some people say if it's been around 6 months and you haven't worn it, I would say 3 weeks. How many shirts do you
need?
That I could, my entire
3
wardrobe.
weeks, that's ridiculous.
Fine, 4 weeks.
Oh my goodness.
That if you haven't worn it in a month, do you really need it?
What about seasons?
No, don't see it.
No.
My attire does not change that much based on seasons. If I haven't worn a suit in a month, guess where it goes?
Oh my god.
I'm joking. That's a bit of a turnover. But don't be afraid to throw away.
Right. It's a good rule.
When in doubt, throw it out. Oh, better yet, don't buy it to begin with. You could have saved yourself the money.
It's so true. All right. So these are really good tips. Would you like to tell us your cleaning system?
Well, I mean, Gabby, do you have any tips for cleaning first?
Oh,
You're a
sure.
great Gabby is a great cleaner.
My tips for cleaning. Oh, yeah. Put on music while you clean.
Ooh, that's a great
I
point.
love to do that. I love that. Actually, it's great because now we have the TV where we can put YouTube on it.
That's beautiful.
And it's really nice. It puts music through the whole house pretty much.
Yeah, it does.
Instead of, me sometimes I usually base it off my computer or my phone, then you got to carry that from room to room. So this thing is real sweet. Like, you just put the music on and it just kind of blasts music through the house. It's really nice.
I love that.
I love listening to music while I clean.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good job.
You like to more watch a show while you clean.
I do have Netflix going on an iPad.
You do, yeah.
That's it does.
Yeah, I can't really watch a show while I clean because I'll focus on the show.
A lot of
To be
times they're
honest.
repeat shows, so it's just like it's
Doesn't
in the
matter.
back. Yeah,
I
it's
would
in the
still
background.
focus on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, I would be too entranced by the show.
That's fair.
That's why the music's good. And the music, I like to dance, so then I can kind of dance clean,
Nice.
which I enjoy. So
I
it's
love that.
it's more like I'm dancing than
Cleaning.
I'm doing both, but at least I have something to distract me. Especially if I'm cleaning something that's a little more difficult or requires more energy.
God bless you.
Thank you.
That's adorable.
So yeah, that would be my number one tip as far as cleaning. My other tip would be to, you know how you don't have a lot of motivation sometimes, although you don't really understand that.
Love cleaning.
Other normal people would understand that there's not always the motivation. So my tip would be to, if you have any motivation, just start there. And then, you could get, let's say there's a part of it where you're like, oh, I don't want to get to that. At least start where your motivation is, and then it gets you, it's almost like a warm-up.
Yeah.
And then you get warmed up, and then you can get into the deep cleaning.
Good point. Yeah, get you going one step.
I also think it could be a good idea to have a block of time. Sometimes when you really get into the cleaning that you only have a short amount of time, then you're not going to finish the cleaning. That might be frustrating.
That's fair.
So, start when you maybe have a little bit of a block of time.
Yeah.
But not too much time, because you don't want to squander it.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe just a very specific amount of time so that you can you have enough time, but you also don't have all day. Because if you have all day, you're not going to clean it.
No.
But if you have a hour and a half and you've got to finish it in an hour and a half, then it's going to push you to vroom.
Yeah, and also knowing what you need to clean in that. You don't have to do everything.
Plan.
Yeah, just you got to have a plan, Sam.
Well, I never really have a plan. That is a good tip.
Oh, you need a plan.
So what's your plan?
Okay, so here's the plan. Here's my weekly cleaning habits. First is a plan. It's almost always the same because we have a small condo, so the entire thing can be cleaned very quickly. But yet again, first, you got to start. A big part of this is high to low. Yet again, you never start with your floors. That's the last thing you do, because anything you clean on a counter or something, some of it's going to get brushed off. High to low. So then then you're hitting your zones. You got your kitchen, your living room, your bathroom, and your bedroom are your significant factors in here. So yet again, kitchen counter, we have a ground and countertop cleaned, as well as the sink. The accoutrement from the stove, the burners, the handles, they're getting washed in the dishwasher here.
Oh yeah, he actually disassembles the stove and puts the pieces in the dishwasher every week. It's crazy.
It needs to be cleaned.
It is legit crazy. And then I feel so bad because then there are times, he usually does this on Thursday, his day off. And then, let's say I'm cooking something Thursday night maybe, and then
I know.
the rice overflows and it goes right on the stove.
No, but that's okay, because you're preserving the thing that matters here, though. Weekly cleaning keeps that good for a long term.
Yeah.
Because yet again, you want it to look nice. We also know this isn't our always home, so we're probably going to sell this, and that stove is a selling point. So it needs to be clean. It needs to be in a good point.
I never would have thought of putting those pieces in the dishwasher.
It was my dad. He's a great dad, and mom are great cleaners.
Well done, Steve and Chris Yaros.
Thank you. And then the other thing is, in all of this, having your laundry going in the background, because that's easy work. And you choose this based on your task. Remember here, whatever you're doing, so say you're around all day, hey, delegates are great because they require a lot of change out, so you're good. Say you have to go out and do a chore. You know what's great? Put in your regular load for 40 minutes, or if you have towels, that's a 76-minute dry cycle. So that's what I want going in there. I don't want delegates 20-minute burn.
True.
I want to use that long chunk of time in here.
Very
you got to
good
use
plan.
that judiciously. So base your time. Use what you got on here.
Okay, so high to low.
High to
use
low.
Of time. I like this.
Use of time, and then your bathroom. It's a significant factor here. I cannot emphasize this enough. And really, your floor in the bathroom and behind the scenes is important because the TP gives some debris off that needs to be cleaned and get rid of that dust.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did other people know that there's dust from the toilet paper
Oh,
when you use it?
absolutely.
Not to get too into depth, but that's a very interesting tidbit.
No, it's small pieces of paper. So, yet again,
Huh.
the cleaning of the toilet is very important to me.
Very
It's
important.
a safe place. I've got a lot of business to get done in that bathroom. I need to know I'm going to a safe, clean environment.
That's a good point. So, and then you have a multi-step process for the floor, right?
Oh, yeah. You have a vacuum that you start with. So sweeping, we have laminate floors, all of it. So a vacuum, get the dust off. You got to use the nozzle to get around the nooks. And this is important. You don't need to really worry about the nooks in all the places on a week-to-week. Obviously, in an in-depth cleaning, you do. But on the week-to-week, you really need to worry about the kitchen area, the prime zones, because that's where a lot of like small pieces of debris collect. So you want to check in those areas, use a nozzle to get into that. Then sweep the floor. Afterwards, what you want to do, especially if you're in a laminate floor, is a Swiffer. You see, the big parts, and the vacuum will get off the big debris, which is good, because that clogs up the Swiffer, makes it a little less effective, and could even scratch the floor if you're, attach a rock or something to it. But assuming that large-scale things have been picked up, now you use a Swiffer to get the rest of the floor cleaned. Now, on occasion, you also want to use a floor cleaner itself. Not a polish. That's a step after this. That you don't really need to do that often. But a floor cleaner to get off, like, so say, this is especially good in the wintertime where, hey, we've walked into the house and yet again we have a condo, so you kind of have to take at least 1 or 2 steps in before you can take off your shoes. You want to put on and get rid of the salt. This is good for that. Get rid of that salty discharge. And that's the floor.
Alrighty.
That?
So I think anyone who listens to this, I think you are now ready to clean. And let us know if you have any other cool cleaning tips.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining
We
us.
will evaluate them.
Thank you for indulging us. And you know what?
How do you
Say Yaros.
say yours?